Hey everybody out there on YouTube, welcome to your 2022 year-end real estate wrap-up here for the city of Yorba, as well as predictions for the upcoming year 2023. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I'm Steve Mortensen with Coldwell Banker right here in the city of Yorba. And as always, I want to dig right into the data to tell the story of what happened last year in our real estate market and use my shiny crystal ball to make some predictions for what might happen this year. So starting out with some great news, in the city of Yorba, year over year, prices are up almost 10% when you blend both single family houses and condos. So contrary to national news, prices are still rising. So let's talk about 2022. We started the year in January with the lowest number of homes for sale nationally ever recorded. And we had pretty much a fever pitch of the market January, February, and March. Now it carried on through the month of June, but started to cool a little bit. By the time we got to the fall, the market had significantly cooled, and the reason was mortgage rates. So starting 2022, mortgage rates were in the low threes. By the time we got to November, rates topped out at 7.25%, which was more than doubling of those mortgage rates. So as you can imagine, being that most people finance, about 70% of home buyers finance their purchase with a mortgage, that significantly increased the monthly mortgage payment these buyers had to make, which subsequently started the downward pressure on pricing. On top of those mortgage rates more than doubling, we also saw the number of homes for sale climb each month after March. So by the end of the year, inventory was up about 45% versus the same period last year. Now don't get this twisted. I'm not saying that this is 2009, 2010 style inventory where we had tons of homes for sale. In fact, we still today sit about 30% below the historical average number of homes listed for sale. So bottom line is there's not a ton to choose from still, but there's also much fewer buyers out there in the market because of those interest rates. To round out the year, we did have some good news there as well. By the time we got to the end of December, we saw rates back down off that 7.25% to about 6.5%. And interestingly, even though we were in the holiday market, we saw properties starting to get swooped up again. In fact, a couple of my listings got picked up in December and will close in the month of January. So what are my predictions for the year 2023? Well, my crystal ball is broken, but here's the best guess that I can give you, is we're gonna see a little bit of trepidation in the first quarter. We've already seen mortgage rates come down late last year. We expect that trend to continue through early 2023. In fact, there's some data that shows that we may see rates come down another 0.5% by the middle of the year. Now, if that materializes and rates come down even further and we get into very low sixes or even mid or upper 5%, I think we're gonna really see the buyers start to jump back into the market. The wild card here is gonna be if rates really come down. Who knows? Could happen. Likely, probably not. If we get below a 5% mortgage rate, I think you're gonna see all the buyers jump back in because they're not gonna wanna make that mistake again and miss out on something under 5%. The bad news is myself, as well as most economists, are predicting that home prices are actually gonna fall here in the state of California. Specifically here in SoCal, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw prices pull back another 5, 8, maybe even 10% in a bad year. The reason I say that is because fact of the matter is home prices are still very, very high and mortgage rates are higher than they were just a year ago. That leads to the monthly payments still being astronomical, and that's pushed a lot of buyers out of the market, and we're seeing that the sellers are still pretty sticky on their prices, but there's always going to be those sellers that have to sell. Those are going to be the death, the divorce, the job relocation, the just getting married and need to move into a bigger property. There's always going to be a select group in the market that have to sell, and they're going to price their homes aggressively in order to attract those small number of buyers out there. So with that said, I think you're going to see prices come down, but only time will tell. Like I said, the big wild card here is going to be mortgage rates. If something happens in the world that causes mortgage rates to come down, bet your bottom dollar that the buyers are going to jump back in, especially as we get into the fives. So there you have it. That wraps up what happened in 2022 and a few predictions for 2023. I'd be curious, what are your thoughts? What do you predict is going to happen? Tell me in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so that you get reminders every time we post content similar to this. Now, if you have any other questions about the state of the market or what's happening here in the North Orange County area as far as real estate, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to be a resource for you. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve Mortensen here, Coldwell Banker in Yorba Linda. I'll catch you on the next one.